Hi, I'm Richie Zellon, and in this video I want to share what string gauge 18 influential jazz guitarists have used to sculpt their sound. So stick with me because we are getting started now. Welcome to the Jazz Guitar channel, and if this is your first time and you want to learn everything you can about playing jazz guitar, you have come to the right place. So please subscribe and be sure to click the bell icon so you won't miss anything. For the longest time, students have been asking me what string gauge I use and what I suggest they use. And my answer is, it's all relative. It depends on many factors. The type of guitar you use, that is it a solid body, a semi-hollow, or a full hollow body? Then we have to factor in the person's playing style, and finally the tone they are trying to achieve. So with this principle in mind, let's proceed to explore the string gauge profiles of 18 great jazz guitarists. And I have divided these 18 guitarists into 3 categories: the lightweights, the medium weights, and the heavyweights. The lightweights include those that use string sets with 9 through 11 gauge on the first string. The medium weights use string sets with 12s or 13s on the first string, and the heavyweights use 14s and above on the top string. So let's get started with the lightweights. Number 1, with the lightest string gauge used by any jazz guitarist, we have Allan Holdsworth using 9s. But then again, Holdsworth wasn't your usual jazz guitarist. He was in a class all by himself. Number 2, John Abercrombie used 10s. Like Holdsworth, Abercrombie played a solid body and used a variety of effects which seem to resonate better with light gauge strings. Number 3, John McLaughlin, who uses 10s on his solid bodies, although a medium gauge when playing a hollow body. Number 4, Bill Frisell, who uses a set of 10s on his solid bodies, although he says he switches the first string for an 11. Number 5, Mike Stern, another popular solid body jazz guitarist who also uses 11s. Number 6, John Scofield, who usually plays a semi-hollow and uses 11s. 7, last on my list of lightweights, the only guitarist here using 11s on a full hollow body, the late great Jim Hall. And we're on to my list of medium weights. These all use sets with 12s on the first string. Number 1, Ed Bickert on a Fender Tele. And I know what some of you are thinking, that Bickert plays 10s. Well, I'm inclined to think that this is a misconception started by the fact that Fender sold the Ed Bickert tribute Tele with a light gauge. However, Canadian jazz guitarist Lorne Lofsky, who knows and has played with him, said that Bickert uses a set of 12 on the first string through 52 on the sixth string, with a plain 20 for the G string. And personally, this makes a lot of sense for 2 reasons. First, listen to the fat tone Bickert gets, and second, the fact that he came into the scene in the early 60s, a time when medium to heavy gauge strings, especially among jazz players, was the norm. Number 2, Joe Pass, who used 12s on an archtop. Number 3, picking up where Joe Pass left off, one of the greatest fingerstyle jazz guitarists of the day, Martin Taylor, with 12s on an archtop. Number 4, Kenny Burrell with 12s also on an archtop. And number 5, last on my compilation of medium weights, the legendary Jimmy Rainey, who used 12s on his archtop. And now for my list of heavyweights. These are all players who use string gauges with a 14 or above on the first string. By the way, most of these, if not all of them, use flat wound strings. Number 1, probably one of the earliest jazz guitarists on this entire compilation, Barney Kessel, with 14s on his archtop. Number 2, the great Wes Montgomery, who used 14 through 58 on his archtop. And I believe he set the standard for most of the remaining guitarists. Number 3, Grant Green with 14s on his archtop. Number 4, George Benson with 14s on his archtop. Number 5, Pat Martino, who these days plays a solid body or semi-hollow with 14s. Number 6, a very popular present-day jazz guitarist, Peter Bernstein, following in the tradition of the early heavyweights and using 14s on his archtop. And that concludes my list. I know that some of you are upset that I did not include some of your favorite guitarists here, but first of all, I cannot include everyone. And second, there were several others that I wanted to include, but I could not find any info on. So I encourage you to share in the comments section down below the string profile of any important jazz guitarist you might know of that I might have missed. And believe me, there are many. Hope you've enjoyed this lesson, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so and be sure to click on the bell icon so you won't miss anything. As usual, have fun, and I will see you in the next video.